I've provided free estimates for a long, long time, and I've provided $50 estimates. And what I'm telling you,
are you disqualifying 50% of your customers?
we're disqualifying about 30 to 40% of inbound leads. Email, phone, text, however they may come, high 30s, low 40s. And that's because we're not a fit for everybody. Not everybody wants what we have to offer. We understand as a company how we're unique and what we have to offer and what we don't. And we have no shame about that. We have no guilt about that. We are not all things to all people with respect to business services. We serve a niche market. We do electrical, contracting, resi and commercial. We serve solar energy, energy storage, electric vehicle charging, on-grid, off-grid energy, Tesla solar roof, all of these things, but we're still only a niche of each one of those markets. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but the reason that we've decided to disqualify so many customers is because we want to zero in on our ideal customers and serve them only. That maximizes profit margins. It minimizes headaches and hassles. We're not running and dashing across town, jumping through all the hoops, because we're working with people, customers, real people who are aligned with our values. How do you do that? How do you figure that out?
What are you looking for in a customer?
This is the big one. What am I looking for in a customer? Value alignment. Absolutely. Let me tell you two true stories. One, customer calls me on the phone and I'm getting this sense like, just a little bit of gut feel. I couldn't put a finger on anything, but a little bit of gut feel like, I don't know if this is a fit. And I say, Mr. Customer, before we take any next steps, do you mind if I tell you what our core values are? Our core values are relationship, integrity, and excellence. You know what happens next? Click. He hangs up. He hung up on me. You know why that works? You know why that's powerful? Because I said relationship, and he's like, no, transaction. You're my fourth, fifth, sixth bid. I don't want relationship. That sounds like scary accountability. I say integrity. He's like, what the heck? That means I'm gonna have to pull permits. That means it's gonna be long, delayed, expensive. That means you're gonna do things right. That means it could get expensive. Excellence. That definitely means expensive. That means you're not gonna cut any corners. That means I'm not gonna save any pennies. We're not aligned. He hung up on me. I screened him out in under 35 seconds on the basis of a gut feel and core values. Values alignment. Let me give you another example. Large commercial contracting outfit calls me based upon a word of mouth referral. I answer the phone. I have no idea who I'm about to talk to. And he starts asking for a relatively large project to get bid out in a relatively short amount of time. I already know, based upon our schedule, I can't make it happen. I level with him straight up and I say, hey, hear me in the right light. Do you mind if I pause real quick? Because I value relationship, and not because I don't, I'm not pushing you away, but because I value relationship. And by the way, our core values are relationship, integrity, and excellence. And he says, whoa, hey, right there. I have never heard those words out of a contractor's mouth in 30 years I've been doing this. I wish all of my subcontractors talked to me like that. I wish all of my subcontractors had clarity like that. I wish all of my subcontractors operated like that. What else? Tell me more. I said, I value the relationship, so I'm not gonna make promises that I can't deliver. We can't do this job for you. And he says, I'm very disappointed to hear that. But man, all the respect for you that you told me that. So I'm gonna have to keep shopping on this one, but I'm gonna call you on the next one. Because this 4-minute conversation, four-minute conversation was very exceptional. Values alignment. We find the greatest experience for our team members. Guys, customers cause stress and make the gals in my office cry sometimes, right? That's a reality. I don't want to lose them. I have an investment in every single employee. And if that customer doesn't value relationship and they're willing to take out a transactional anxiety on my staff, on my apprentice, on my electrician, because they don't know that we value relationship, they don't value relationship, they don't know that we're gonna operate with integrity and step up to the plate and fix whatever problems there may be, they don't know that we want excellence in outcomes and process, both. If they don't know this, then people start getting agitated, they start getting scared, then stress levels rise internally, externally. Values alignment. It's hard for a small business owner who's juggling every task in the business to even figure out what their core values are, as opposed to aspirational future values, as opposed to, if you didn't hire on the basis of core values, are your core values your employees' core values? It can get really complicated. But let me give you one simple place to start. And this is a requirement at Jefferson Electric, that every customer engagement, every vendor engagement, every time that we interact with the outside world, we make a value statement. It's that simple. One small value statement. It doesn't even have to be a core value. Just say something like, hey, Mr. Customer, before we get started, I just want you to know that I would take great pleasure if you were absolutely delighted at the end of this job. Boom, just get it out there. Say something. Under 10 seconds, that'll blow your customers away. Most contractors, there's obscurity and posturing and mutual mystification, and there's a lack of alignment. But if you can bring some little piece of alignment in every engagement, and your vendors are almost as important as your customers. They can do a lot for you. They can be a referral source for you. They can become your customers, in fact. Many of our vendors have become our customers. So make one value statement on every phone call, in every interaction, in every email, in every text, however you communicate with the outside world, and you'll knock their socks off. They won't know what to expect. They'll be blown away. Nobody does that. A couple thoughts around why it's important at some point to clear your headspace and identify your core values. Because your core values are public promises. Me as a business owner, I have a public promise to all of my team members that I am accountable to the values that I have set forth, and that is relationship, integrity, and excellence. And anybody can call me on the carpet if I fail to live up to and execute on those core values. It's also a public promise to my customers. The same thing is true, that you know what to expect from Jefferson Electric. And if you have some other expectation that falls outside of those domains, you might need to shop somewhere else, because we're not necessarily offering or guaranteeing that. You can't necessarily call us on the carpet for that, right? But relationship, integrity, and excellence are so encompassing that everything that's valuable to us falls under one of those headings, and there's security for our customers. There's security for our team members, knowing the rules, the parameters that we're playing by and that we're operating by. And if you don't have rules and parameters in place, public rules and parameters, then at some point, it's going to smack you in the face, because someone's going to be playing by a different set of rules, and you're going to get surprised, or they're going to get surprised by disciplinary action, by a job site behavior, by a bill unpaid. If your customer doesn't operate with integrity, and if they're not accountable to that standard, if they're not in agreement and alignment with that standard, guess what? They may not want to pay the bill, or the last 25%, the retainage on the bill. That may not be a value that they hold. Alignment and core values could save your business.
What do you do to identify those customers?
There are at least two other major categories by which to qualify or disqualify your customers. And one is project timing. If you didn't ask on the phone before you went out, or the gal in your front office didn't ask before sending an estimator to that customer's home, when do you need to have this work performed? Man, you left a lot of variables on the table unanswered. You could be running around town, exposing your vehicle to traffic and accidents and flat tires and wasting gas and blowing valuable time. You got to ask. And don't let the customer say soon or as soon as possible. That's way, way too vague. Does that mean a month, a week, a day? No idea. You got to pin them down to a date. And if they say 2 weeks, and your answer is, well, at this point, Mr. Customer, I'm sorry to say, for that service category, we're booked out 3.5 weeks. Will that still work for you? You got to get bold. You got to push them a little bit. It's fair for them to ask for what they're looking for, but you've got to bring them into the real world and give them a realistic time frame. And the worst thing you can do is overpromise and underdeliver. We have customers who advocate to other people for our services that we've never taken care of, simply because we were realistic and we told them the truth over the phone before making any promises. We asked the right questions and we got to good, clear answers. That's vital, absolutely vital. And the other is geography. Of course, you're going to collect that customer's address over the phone, but before you get off the phone, you better be punching that thing into GPS, because if they're outside of your service category, territory, I hate to tell you, that is no longer your customer. It's not. They may be willing to pay a premium for you to travel, and now that changes the game, but you're gonna have to level with them. You're gonna have to be real and upfront. Don't surprise them after the fact. You have to say, Mr. Customer, anything over 45 minutes is outside of our service category for that offering. Unfortunately, we have to apply a premium in order to cover our expenses. Will that still work for you? That customer needs you to be upfront and honest so there are no surprises. As soon as you surprise them, you violate trust. The moment you come and blindside them, you're already going downhill, and you're gonna have to sweep up the pieces, pick it back up if you're gonna keep serving that customer. So price, are they willing and able to pay your price? 2, values alignment. Is this customer not just looking for the service you provide, but are they looking to buy the promises that you make? 3, timing. Timing is utterly critical. And 4, geography. Make sure they're in your service territory. You're going to be able to care for them well.
So Joel, with all these things in mind, do you offer free estimates?
Guys, I've done it that way, and I've done it this way. I've provided free estimates for a long, long time, and I've provided $50 estimates. And what I'm telling you is do whatever the heck you want. But for me and my business in this market at this time, those $50 estimates, they're golden. That's free money. That's $50 that you're not billing for otherwise. And it's another differentiator. It's another disqualifier. I'm screening out another 10 to 15% of customers with that estimating fee, and I'm getting to real customers who are ready, willing, and able to do work with me.
What are some responses you can expect from a problematic or promising customer?
So when I say it's a disqualifier and I'm screening out 15% of customers with that $50 estimating fee, what I didn't tell you was I increased my conversion rates on the back ends because those customers, substantially, because those customers are now making a commitment to me, to my work, my reputation. Sometimes they'll say, well, tell you what, I'll call you back. And what they do is they do a little bit more research. They look up a couple more reviews. They track us across a couple websites. They verify our services and reputations. And then when they call back, they are now ready to go. They're gonna pay the $50 fee. They're gonna wait the time it takes to get us out there. And then when we present them with the estimate, 70, 80, 90% conversion rates. And not because we're cheap, but because we're aligned. Expectations are set. We're ready to go, promises are made, and they have the confidence that they're gonna be fulfilled. So we have to continue to differentiate through this process. So let me tell you what happens when one of our estimators or me show up to a customer site to perform an estimate. Screwdriver, flashlight, digital multimeter, and know how to use it right, ready to go. We're pulling panel covers off, we're popping breakers out, we're doing an investigation. See, on the phone, what we told the customer when we said we're going to charge a $50 estimating fee, there was no hesitation, there was no guilt, there was no apology, and that apology was not portrayed through a gulp, I hope you don't mind. No, it was, ma'am, Mrs. Customer, we're going to provide you with the highest value estimate that you're going to get. We're going to pull out test equipment and flashlights and screwdrivers, and we're going to take a look at everything that we need to, because we want you to have the full value of the estimate that you've paid for. And let me tell you what, that is the right way to start your production process, because if you have fuzzy, squishy estimates, your ops team is going to be upset because they're going to get stuck with the problems that weren't identified on the front end. Your finance team is going to be upset because they're going to get stuck with the job overruns and the cost of goods sold through the roof because the estimating didn't find the problem. So that $50 estimating fee, that frees everybody up. Your estimator can now do what he needs to do. He's not trying to get in and out as fast as possible. He's trying to provide value because the customer paid for value, because you differentiated yourself. You told him on the phone, we're going to provide value. So now estimator's doing their job. Ops team is happy. The finance team is happy. Your bottom line is happy. And it starts on the front end. So whip out the multimeter, know what you're looking for, put a skilled person in that position. You can't afford anything less. That's what we've done. I'm inviting you to enjoy the same success. If you think these principles might work for you and you'd like total access to our tactics and strategies, I'd love to connect one-on-one so that you can learn from the mistakes that I've made. Check the description for a calendar link for a one-on-one session, you and me. And subscribe to Electric Pro Academy for real skills to make real money.